Hello friends, this is Jennifer Terri and welcome to my channel. Alright, you probably watched my last video, right? I don't think I made justice on the information in my last video. The words weren't clear and there was also a typo. So, in this video, let's just quickly revisit the circular memorandum and also we'll answer popular questions. And the answers will be coming from the National Task Force, the government agency who decided to suspend us non-OFWs and foreign nationals, and also the Philippine Airlines canceled flights. The list of initial flights that are canceled. So these are the three things we'll talk about in this video. So let's go ahead. Start with the circular memorandum. So you guys already know that this travel suspension and the limitation of inbound capacity is in place because of the rise of COVID-19 cases in the Philippines, which in the memorandum said it is likely attributed to increased transmission due to non-compliance of minimum health protocol. And the next one, because of gatherings, increased mobility of people, delays in detection and isolation of infected patients, and lastly, because of the presence of variants. And because of these things, as a result, we have the limitation of only 1,500 people per day can enter the Philippines. And worst is, all foreign nationals and non-OFWs are restricted from entering the Philippines starting March 20 until April 19, 2021. So this travel suspension for non-OFWs and foreign national runs for a month. There are exemptions to this travel suspension. 9E visa holders. So last video I said 9C. Sorry about that. The photo wasn't clear, but it's clear now. 9E, who are 9E visa holders? Accredited officials of foreign governments, diplomats. Next, we have medical repatriates and their escorts, but they have to be endorsed by the DFA and OWA. And distress returning OFWs. Next up, the last people who are exempted from the travel suspension are those with, those coming with under emergency, humanitarian, and other analogous cases. But they have to be approved by the National Task Force. Now let's hear from the National Task Force spokesperson on questions about this new rules, travel suspension and limitation on inbound capacity. The first question is, how long will this 1,500 maximum inbound capacity will last? Could it be just until March 31?
Hanggang April 18 dun sa kanilang memo. Pero tulad nga po ng nabanggit nyo, yung paghigpit ay dun sa sinabi ni Secretary Galvez. At mananatili lang ito sa 2 linggo, subject to review at pagpapatuloy kung kinakailangan.
So the National Task Force spokesperson said that according to the civil authorities memo, the inbound maximum capacity of only 1,500 people per day is until April 18. But he said that this restriction will be reviewed every 2 weeks. So how about OFWs who are traveling with their family? Will the family members be allowed to enter the Philippines?
Opo, yung dati pong nating sinusundan na mga patakaran, nag-iigpit po tayo ng nakaraang taon at nag-improve nitong mga sumunod na mga buwan matapos ng pag-iigpit ay masusunod pa rin po. Ito po ay mga ginagamit nating paraan nang sa ganon mapababa natin yung bilang ng mga numero na nagkakasakit at nagdadala ng panibagong variant dito sa ating bansa.
The National Task Force answered that yes, they will be allowed just like before. They will be considered as dependents of the overseas Filipino workers or OFW. And next question, how about those who already booked their ticket?
Gagawan po ng paraan ng ating mga airlines, both Filipino Airlines at International Airlines, matapos na nagkaroon ng anunsyo na ito, ang pag-book ng kanilang mga flights. So kung sakasakaling dahil sa paglilimita na ito ay kinakailangan pong magdagdag sila sa susunod na mga linggo ng kanilang flight upang ma-accommodate ang iba, gagawin po nila yan para masunod po nila yung bilang ng pagpasok.
And with regards to those who are arriving in the Philippines during that period, same protocol, so testing on the 6th day. How about the outbound rules? Are there any changes?
Wala pong inanunsyo na limitation sa mga palis. Maliban na lang po sa pagsunod sa mga patakaran na kailangan nilang i-comply dun sa mga pupuntahan nilang bansa. Hindi rin po nagbabago yung ating mga dati pang patakaran na meron dapat kayong mga insurance bago kayo umalis at yung lagdaan ng kasunduan po sa Bureau of Immigration.
So the National Task Force said nothing. In their resolution, there's nothing. There's no change. So Filipinos are still allowed to leave. Well, what's funny is they won't be allowed to go back. So Filipinos on tourist visas can leave, but they can't go back within that dark period. Rules and requirements are still the same, health insurance and a negative COVID result if that is required by their airline or country of destination. And up until now, guys, the Bureau of Immigration still hasn't announced, gave us a travel guideline. Nothing. They've been quiet. Still people who are confused. Who's OFWs? Who are non-OFWs? Okay, let's make it clear. Non-OFWs we define these as Filipinos who are students, who are studying abroad. Non-OFWs are tourists, Filipino tourists. Non-OFWs are, Filipinos who are holding permanent residence in another country. Non-OFWs are those holding, let's say, a spouse visa. While OFWs or overseas Filipino workers are simply members of OWA. OWA is a government agency that handles overseas Filipino workers. And all OFWs, or everyone who holds a working visa when they leave the Philippines, are required to be members of OWA. So the OFW is a term used to refer to Filipino migrant workers who reside outside the Philippines for a limited period of time for employment. So guys, balikbayan, 9A visa holders, whatever visa you hold except 9E, you're not allowed to enter the Philippines unless you're one of those who are exempted. You have DFA approved, OWA approved, because you're traveling for humanitarian reasons. That's the only case that you can enter the Philippines within this dark period. So this is all for this video, friends. Immigration, come on, give us your guidelines. That's what we're waiting. See you again with another travel update. Bye.